Though again, he didn't cross swords with anyone, acting almost exclusively as an observer, not as a participant. Oh my god. The comments under that video that Shad made were rough. It got so bad, he had to pin a comment that was being nice to him, which, guys, that's not the last time you're gonna hear about that. And it's also not the last time that Shad's gonna take a general video made by an actual martial artist incredibly personally, because yeah, he didn't learn his lesson. He did this crap again. Welcome back to the stage, Cell Sword Arts. Yeah, Shadiversity decided to beef with Cell Sword Arts. We already talked about him in the intro, but he's not just a big sword YouTuber running a new D&D show. This guy is a very accomplished HEMA fighter. He participates in tournaments, he goes to public events. Unlike Shad, this dude is actually in shape and actually fences. Again, of all the people to debate about HEMA, I would not try to debate this guy. Now, for more context, Cell Sword Arts has long eclipsed Shadiversity's channel by this point. But earlier in the timeline, when this whole controversy went down, Cell Sword Arts was a smaller YouTube channel. And like Matt Easton before him, he did not talk directly about Shadiversity. Cell Sword made a general video about armchair warriors. People who don't fence, who don't wield steel, who don't go to actual tournaments, who don't know much about fighting.
I don't think I need to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Anime, video games, pop culture, and all of those things are not accurately representing swordsmanship. It's cool, it's fun, and it's enjoyable to watch, but that's not the way that swords would have actually been used. But because most popular content creators who do things about swords are courting that audience, they tend to couch things in terms of those anime techniques or things like that. How many videos have you seen kind of breaking down video game sword fighting and things like that? It's interesting, it's fun to watch, but the conversation is dominated by that, to the point where it's really hard to find realistic swordsmanship unless you know where to look.
They're not actually practical or real. And when we're talking about fencing, we should be listening to people who, you know, actually fence. Basically, if you want to learn basketball, maybe learn from somebody who plays basketball rather than someone who plays 2K. I think that's a perfectly based and reasonable perspective from somebody who clearly knows what he's talking about. But once again, Shad decided to take this very general video about armchair warriors and do the classic self-own, thinking that it was personally made to attack him.
Not only does he say that he is encouraging people to not watch other certain content creators,
but today I want to talk to you guys about what makes good sword content and who you should and shouldn't listen to. So how do you, the viewer, know when a presenter is worth listening to?
he doesn't mention who, but it's pretty clear he's talking about us and a couple of others.
Oh my god, this response video is again disproportionately long and incredibly desperate. Shad is fishing for validation at every second of this embarrassing response. He tries to debunk Cell Sword Arts with various gotchas counteracting his points, when in truth, Shadiversity is blatantly taking Cell Sword Arts clips completely out of context just to make himself look better.
Some of my videos were clipped in such a way that it loses necessary context. The second clip that Shad uses is of me using a foam sword after I make the point that foam swords are not a good approximation of steel swords. They start with foam. In the video that he's showing a clip from, I very explicitly talk about how this is not a true test of this technique because true steel greatswords are too dangerous to fight with.
So after we did our experiment, first we have to note that these swords are not steel swords. They do not react like a steel sword would. This is a thought experiment and is not even proof.
Dude, if you're so righteous, you wouldn't have to do that. Cell Sword Arts comfortably ratioed Shad with a long-form response video as well as a short-form response video that got over 1 million views. Shad tried to respond, but I mean, I'm sorry, anyone who is serious about swordplay can look at the situation just plainly on the surface and realize who knows what he's talking about and who doesn't.
The people who he might be referring to specifically to defend themselves. And I know
it's a video that you're not in.
For us specifically.
You're defending yourself right now.
In that video.
But self-serious attitude is just so plainly pathetic. It's so hard to take seriously because he doesn't need to do any of this. There's nothing inherently wrong with being a hobbyist who just engages with this through fantasy. There's nothing wrong with that at all. He built a career off of it. And none of these people, Matt Easton, Cell Sword, none of them, they're not trying to say that this content is immoral or bad or shouldn't be made. It's just people should understand the kind of content that Shadiversity makes. It's not realistic, and that is fine. Look, I'm not trying to be mean here. Just use the evidence of your own eyes and ears. Look at Shadiversity and just try your best to take him even.
This is my team, and we get everything done with Monday.com. Sarah.
Hello? 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 My camera's working, right? Yeah, okay. It's been a while, I know. That is completely my bad. Anyway, as I said, today is gonna be writing. Mainly because I'm an old. There's a few other reasons. Mainly that one. Doesn't really matter. Anyway. Let's do this. So. Ooh. Can you not? Oh. Did you know you guys actually can't see that? Okay, cool. So I can just leave that there then. Let's see. I'm currently looking through my Discord. Alright. So, during some free time, me and my friends played Minecraft. Now, real nerds, mainly me and one other, but Yeah, it's modern Minecraft. This is a mod pack. I don't actually. Yeah, so it's not like a mod pack. This is what you play. It's level. Not that important. The main thing to know is that it has Ison file. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means we have dragons. And what is something you have to do if you have dragons? You have to make lore. So that's what I'm doing. Now, just to make sure. Did I throw YouTube? It's like. I find it so funny that YouTube just kind of sucks. At this stuff at streaming, which I mean, I understand it's not their main focus, but like, funny, haha. Now, let me think. You shouldn't have seen anything important. Where to start? There are 3 characters. No, not Okay, so I'm using Campfire. I've never used them before, so I'm gonna find this really, let's just say, interesting. Alright. Let's do this. Let's start with name. Now, I am very stereotypical with my names. I like having a theme. Lately, I've been on the theme of wind, so the name's gonna be Eerie Storm. Wow, that's really slow. Okay, anyway. Whoa. Oh, this is so much information. Okay. Eerie Storm. So I can actually just, okay. Origin country. That's not. I wish I could like, rename that, but I don't know how. So let me think. It's not a country. It's more of a village, which is a bit more difficult, obviously. Now, in the background, in my head, they're from a dragon village. Not like a village of dragons, but like a village of people who tamed and ride dragons. Let's see. I feel like I said I made something. Just close that. I'm so smart. Okay, so because I got sucked into this yesterday on Discord, I made like a base, but like there's nothing really there now that I'm looking at it. So let me think. What is a village name? A good village name. What is a good village name? Oh, shit, that will. What? Oh, that's good to know. Okay, sorry about that. Just I'm still learning to control this new guy. He is a bit sensitive. If you cannot tell from the fact that the mouse just like stays open for a while. But anyway, let's think. Names. I'm not good at naming stuff. Names. Peanut butter jelly time. No, not really. Oh, I got a message. Okay. There's also some uni drama. Just to fill you all in, so I'm in free accommodation because I'm international. Fun true. But what that turns out to be is great for the most part. I don't actually have that many complaints, but there's a package thief. I don't actually know why or who or any of that. I've actually had some of my stuff stolen. But the university isn't doing much to help, which is fun. Also, why am I getting notifications? I don't like notifications. Don't. I have social media. That does not mean you acknowledge me on social media. Anyway, sorry about that. People are acknowledging me. Strange behavior. Back to this. So let's not treat this like country. Let's go. Cool. Good to know, I guess. Wow, it just really did not like that. Let's just do something. I don't want to make it pure dragon based. Like, I'm gonna be real. It's cool, an idea. But like I really don't want to do Dragon's Edge. Oh, that's from How to Train Your Dragon. Oh my lord. Ugh. This just goes to show a good show series can really stick in ya. Let me think. Well, actually, let's think about this. What maps? Next. High tips. I didn't even know that was an option. Okay. So it's a actually it's a village. Let's say it is. What's a good age for a village? 50? No. Dragon Rider. So they've been established long enough to have enough to reliably tame dragons. To 200 years. This doesn't matter. Housing the unwanted. That doesn't matter. Okay. Let's see. Geography. What would a dragon village look like? They could, yeah. Let me think. Well, it would have to be near a few things. So in Ice and Fire, there is 3, maybe 4 different types of dragon. Minecraft, Ice and Fire, dragon type. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Not 2 of them. Come on. Okay, so it's 3. Fire, ice, and lightning. Wow. They look so cool. I swear there was more. Hmm. Okay. Anyway, so there's 3 types of dragon: fire, ice, lightning. Lightning and fire can both spawn in warm climates. So we probably don't want a mountain. No, actually, a mountain may be best. Because, okay, so. Yeah, no, we're getting into this. Let's think. Come on. File, new. You can ignore, like, all of this. I hate that I have that defaulted. God. Okay. Now let's think about this. File. and lightning. Light? I feel like I'm butchering that. Oh, okay. Light. Let me just go into that format. Fire and lightning equal wall. Ice equal. How do you symbolize cold other than I can't think of like another way to show cold other than like a really bad drawn snowflake. Okay. So let's see. Plateau. Okay. Desert plateau. Are the tops of the plateau cold? Yes, a cold, particularly as cold deserts. Huh? Okay. Just to be clear, yeah, this is better. Hi, Victoria. Go ahead, take my data. Oh, Victoria. No. Victoria, why? Okay. Cold does any large area of land that typically receives an amount of annual precipitation, which occur mainly in the form of snow or fog. Is considered to be cold deserts are found to on plateaus and mountain areas. Some cold deserts located distant from the human onshore dwelling. Some of the largest current deep-ocean continents, as of how found leeward side where they exist in range out of a particularly because humans are derivatives of okay. So, cold deserts exist. In Pakistan. Cool. So, cold deserts exist. Can you form them? Can you form cold? Yes, you can. But it requires specialized to manage freezing temperature and weather. Okay, so you want to know something really cool? Fire dragons exist. You know what that means? That so Jesus fuck. This is such a spiral. Okay. desert farming is a thing. That's really interesting because if I remember, like this, this is nothing but desert basically. Like it's almost unlivable. It has good natural resources though, so there's like whole industry of sending people there for months at a time with really good pay, and then they get to come home and then just live their best life basically. Anyway. Interesting. Now, so if you were on, so let's just say desert, plateau. If I were to build a village here, plateau, where would I build it? I mean, I could build it here, but that is cold. It, in this case, it's cold. So it's probably not the best. Now, because I'm doing a desert basically, this is probably gonna have the opposite problem. It's probably gonna be too hot. Now, what is the solution? Well, funny you mention. Sorry, they're called the habit system. Habit. Yeah. Oh, you're so small. There we go. The habit. What the fuck? No, bad. I mean, yeah, no. Hey, I need like go on. Oh, you suck. Why is this a better resolution? That annoys me. To the top down draw. This yeah, this works. Okay. So the habitable zone is this really specific area in our solar system in which we are able to live. Now, the thing is, it is really specific. So what I'm thinking is, in reality, you would want to do your farming in the habitable zone. Where the temperature is warm, it's nice, it's manageable. See, the problem with this is the habitable zone is probably like there. You can't really farm right there unless you. Ooh. We all know like cold. Mm, losing my mind. Stone mines. We all know what those are. So, what if they did something more like digging out now? Ugh, you're such a small vessel. There we go. What if they dug out like a holy thing? Oh my god. Yeah. What if they dug it out instead? So basically, that would be the farm. That's a really bad arrow. Anyway, the bottom of this. I'm changing the color. The bottom of that. What? There we go. The bottom of that is the farm. Cool, perfect. Where are people gonna live? Well, rock mines. Oh, nope, you were not meant to. Oh, you just don't. There we go. Kneel me. I don't want to kneel me. Okay. This is more what I'm looking for. Yeah. So, you want to know what I see here? I see places to build. So, let's act like this where the water is. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Let's act like these pools of waters where the farm is. But the, it doesn't really matter what they grow, in my opinion. Mainly because if you're digging that far down, I'm gonna assume that you. Sorry, messages. Anyway, I'm gonna assume you're gonna find water. Actually, plateau groundwater images. Do plateaus have groundwater? Okay, so yes, plateaus have groundwater, which makes sense. So let's be honest. So what might end up happening is that this. Oh, that was just something else. My lord. It might look something more like that. Which means we can build. How? housing. Like this. Why do you keep doing that? Doesn't need to be perfect. Anyway. So cool. Now in my head, dragons need their own area. For a few reasons. One, they're big. Really, really fucking big. So, what does that mean? Well, that's quite simple. If they are fire dragons, you can oh, this is hold on. Somehow this is worse. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just gonna use this one. Yeah, for safety reasons, it's obviously not going to actually be at ground level. Cool. So, that's like that. Now, ice dragons would probably enjoy the upper areas. And vice versa. Now, lightning dragons, to me, were the most interesting for a few reasons. One of which being, in my head anyway, lightning dragons are going to be the fastest. Ice dragons are probably like middle ground, not as destructive as a fire dragon, but nowhere near the speed of a lightning dragon. So, what would a lightning dragon need? Well, a nice straight one way. So instead of doing basically the vertical takeoff of the ice dragon, which is here. Yeah, so in my head, ice dragons would be doing vertical takeoff. Because why not? Fire dragons would be doing a mix of both. Well, they definitely can just take off. They do need some oomph, which is why in my head, the ones that can just like take off straight up, which is a minority, will just be able to go boom, boom. And those that need an oomph can one up and jump. But lightning dragons, being the fastest, don't care for either of these. They find lightning dragons being very elitist with their speed would find this disgusting. Like, oh, that's a joke. You feel me? And then lightning dragons would find just straight vertical takeoffs too slow. They don't get any real speed from that. There's nothing proper, quote unquote, proper about this. But this, the dragon stable heal, would be heal. Oh shit. Fuck. I'm gonna have to report that to maintenance. If you don't know why I'm saying that, it's because, yeah, there's water flowing in from my ceiling, which it shouldn't be doing. So, forcing force, let's cover up my outlets, because fuck. Oh, that's so much fun. I just fucking love that. Okay, so I might need to end the stream, not because I want to, but because there is a leak in my ceiling, which is just not good at all. I hope you can understand why a leak is bad. Yeah, thank you for joining, but I'm gonna need to take care of